Hey everybody, welcome back to this week's show. Uh let's open it up quick. Guys, remember, follow me on Instagram at the Jesus Show NTO. Facebook, type in the Jesus Show, not that one. You can find me on TikTok at the Jesus Show, not that one. YouTube, type in the Jesus Show, not that one. I know I've said type in the Jesus Show NTO. I don't know if that will come up. So on YouTube, make sure you type in the Jesus Show, not that one, and email me your questions, comments, concerns. The Jesus Show, NTO at gmail.com. All right, let's get into the show. Christmas just passed. Merry Christmas. What did you guys do for Christmas? Did you have a good Christmas? Did you guys get everything you wanted? Our Christmas was really nice. Allie had kind of a crazy trip. Yeah, Allie had a crazy trip. The reason why I'm being a little vague is because I don't talk about what company we work for. And I don't want to use their name. But then there's something else that I can't disclose at the moment. So all I can say is Allie had a crazy trip. But she got back the night of Christmas Eve. And she was here for the 25th for Christmas. Jorge Pops wasn't going to be around for Christmas. No, I'm lying. He was supposed to come in on Christmas, but he ended up coming in on the 23rd when I came in. But his trip fell apart because of the weather, and that whole thing has been it's been a shit show for all airlines, but there's one particular airline in the news right now. Can I say? No, I don't want to say. No, I won't say. There's a particular airline right now in the news because of the weather, and they just had a bunch of crazy stuff. But I know it's affected all airlines. Right? Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. If you're interested into what I'm specifically talking about, you can send me a message on any of the social media platforms, or you can email me, and I will get into specifics with you off air. Like I said, I don't want to say anything on air because of certain things. Anyways, so this was our first Christmas with the baby. Allie and her mom, they had asked me, hey, what do you want for Christmas? And I truly couldn't think of anything that I wanted for Christmas other than be with my son. And I got that. And I mean, there's, even now that I think about it, like, what would I have wanted for Christmas? There's nothing. I got a couple gifts, and the gifts were very nice. But there was nothing that I thought to myself, oh, this would be nice for Christmas. But I'm like that. I feel like I'm like that with Christmas and my birthday. Like, when it comes to gifts, when people go, oh, what do you want? I go, I don't know. Oh, but think about it. Like, what is it that you want? I really don't know. Because I think to myself, if I really want something, I'll just buy it for myself. And if it's something that I can't afford at the moment, then I probably shouldn't have it. So, but it was nice. We woke up here at our house. We went to uh, mom and dad's house. After I walked the boys, we took the presents. We took the baby's presents over there because we wanted him to open it up. And we started opening presents, and it was nice. Uh, Athanasios got a letter from Santa Claus, which was really cool. It came in a FedEx letter dealie. We opened it up, we read it, and it was talking about how, he made the nice list and how he's been a good boy. And it was really cool. It showed a little map from, the North Pole to Crown Point, Indiana. I thought that was really cool. And then there was, I think he got a certificate for being on the nice list. And I think there was one more thing in there. I can't remember what it was, but it was just really cool. Allie sent me the excuse me. She sent me the pictures, or she sent me pictures of it when I was on my trip, and I was reading, and she's like, I want you to read it when you get here. She's like, it made me cry. And then I go, yeah, I'm reading it right now. I am currently crying on the jump seat. But that was really cool. So he got that over at mom and dad's house. He got a bunch of gifts from Santa Claus, and they were wrapped with Santa Claus wrapping paper. And it was really cool. He really liked it because it was nice and bright red. So he was, hitting the boxes and stuff, and he was like trying to tear it, and it was just really, really cool. It was different. It was a different feeling. Like when I was a kid, my grandma and grandpa would give us, my grandparents and my mom, they'd give us, some pretty cool toys. We got, some of the things that I can think of off the top of my head. We got Nintendo. We got a Sega. I got a Game Gear, right? Sega Game Gear. I wanted. My mom got me a little travel pouch for it. We got Power Wheels. I think we got laser tag stuff. Got walkie talkies. Like we got a bunch of cool things growing up. And then I want to say at about 18. And then more so when I left the house. Christmas was just kind of like, whatever. I never saw the point of like buying gifts for everybody. Because I just thought, because then I thought to myself, like, I don't want people to get me stuff. So then I started looking at it as, well, I don't want anything because I'm an adult. Again, if I want something, I'll buy it. Or if I can't afford it, then I shouldn't buy it or spend money on it. Then I started thinking, well, everybody should think like me. So then I became callous. I just thought like, nah, I'm not, like I haven't been one to get friends and family gifts. Like I receive gifts and I'm like, okay, cool, whatever. And I've gotten some cool gifts, from family and friends, and I'm truly grateful for it. Because I think to myself, anybody that gives me a gift, they don't have to spend their money. Like it's their hard-earned money that they've worked for. They can do with that money whatever they want. And they've chosen to give me something. Even if it's something that costs 25 cents, like that's their money that they've spent on me. And I truly appreciate it. But then in turn, I don't think about getting friends and family gifts. And I think one of the biggest things is there's a couple of my friends who I don't necessarily know what to get them. So then I become like, should I give them money? Like if I give them, I don't know, if I give them $100, like they can buy something that they want for themselves. But then that's very impersonal. And they're supposed to be my friend and I'm supposed to know them. But then I think, yeah, but they have everything. They have this, they have that. Like what else? What can I give them? And in my head I have this thing where I think I need to spend a couple $100 on them, which I don't need to. You don't have to be a good gift. It doesn't have to be expensive. But in my head, I go, well, what am I going to get them? It's not like stupid, like, I don't know, like playing cards or something. So then I get like anxiety about like thinking about what should I get them. And then I sit there and I go, oh my God, what am I going to get them? What am I going to get them? What am I going to get them? And then I get to the point where I go, what if I don't get them anything? Like, what if I just send them a, hey, happy birthday? Excuse me. And it's worked out for many years. But now that we have a baby, like getting him the gifts that we got him, and it said, from mom and dad. That was crazy. Like it hit different. Because I remember, getting gifts and the wrapping paper, saying from mom to me. You open and you're like, oh, mom, thanks. And then now to read that and to think, oh, I'm the dad. Me. I'm the dad now. Like, oh shit. I feel like it comes with a level of responsibility now, especially to my son. So I'm like, oh, like I want his Christmases to be special. And again, it's not the value of the gift. It's the gift in itself. It's like, oh, and then I started like, then Allie was like, another thing like decorating. I've never been one for decorating. When I was a kid, I loved it. And as I got older, it was more of a like, oh, let's do this. And then it was like, well, don't do it like this, do it like this. I was like, yeah, but like let us kids decorate the house. It's like, no, we're gonna do it like this. So then became a chore instead of something that I loved to do before. I was like, fuck that, I'm not gonna do it anymore. So I want to say stop decorating or help decorating the house. Maybe when I was like 16, 17. And then again, once I left the house, anywhere I lived, I didn't decorate the house because I thought to myself, like, this is not my house. I'm renting this house. Or this house that I'm staying at is, my friend's house or whoever's house that I'm staying at. Like it was always, it's somebody else's house. Why am I going to decorate it? And then I just always saw it as a chore, not something that I wanted to do. Fast forward to now where, Ali was like, oh, you have to help me. And I was like, I'm not going to, like, why? I have to go to work. When I'm not at work, I'm trying to hit the gym, trying to record, trying to hang out with my son, do other things. Like I don't have time to fucking fuck around and decorate. That's stupid. But then as I think about it, I'm like, yeah, but like I want him to grow up to enjoy doing it. I want him to, enjoy like, oh, let me help mom and dad decorate the house. And there's something to help decorating the house for Christmas that when you pull around the corner or you pull up to the house and you see your house and you're, oh, dope. Like I helped do that. When I was a kid, I enjoyed it. So there was a lot of like, oh, maybe that's what I should start doing. That's what I want to do. So I told Allie, I said, I'm going to try to get better. Even something as simple as she got me a couple stocking stuffers. She got me a pair of Bombas socks, which are very comfortable. And she got me 3 poopery sprays. And it was funny because just a couple days before Christmas Eve, my last trip that I did, I went to Cancun, and my buddy Jordan happened to be in town. And we coordinated where I went to go stay with him at our long layover hotel because he goes, hey, I got 2 beds. So I went from the airport to him. We hung out. I hadn't seen him in a couple years. We had a great time, and he was, he pulled out of his bag. He's like, oh, hey, look, I got some poopery. And I was like, oh, shit, maybe I should get a travel thing of poopery. And then it was just funny that, Christmas came, I get my stocking stuffer stuff, and Allie had got me some, which I was like, this is perfect. But then we got to Mom and Dad's house, and she goes, yeah, I didn't get anything in my stocking. And I was like, you didn't get anything in your stocking? Because I just assumed her mom and dad were going to give her some stuff in her stocking. She's like, yeah, I didn't get anything. And I was like, well, what'd you want? She goes, just something in there. And I go, well, yeah, because I guess you got me something. And so I said, I didn't even think about it. And I go, what do you want? Do you want the bills paid or do you want stocking stuffers? She's like, God damn, dude. It doesn't have to be big. And again, I told her, I realized, I was like, huh. Yeah, it's not the amount of money you spend, but it's just a little something. So I went yesterday. I went to Walgreens and I got her some candy. She likes a fried rice. I think that's how you say it. Forever Rocher. I really don't know how to say the candy name, but they're really good. If you've never had them, they're wrapped in gold, and they come in a cup thing, like a paper little cup. It kind of looks like what you would use, or they use for Reese's peanut butter cups. Peanut butter cups. That, and then you open it, and then there's almonds covered in chocolate, chopped, but it's a ball, and then inside it has a melty chocolate nougat thing. I think I'm explaining it right. Allie loves those, so I got her some of those. I got her some Reese's bunnies, and then I got her a Harry Potter mug. Because we watch, normally when we leave the house, we put on Harry Potter for the dogs. Because they're an almost 3-hour movie, so we put that on to make sure that something's playing for the dogs. And we love Harry Potter, and I thought, oh, cool, a Harry Potter mug. So I put it in her stocking yesterday, and she got home, and I was like, hey, you have something. Oh, and I got her an ornament. I go, hey, you have something in your stocking. She's like, what? So she's like, oh, dope. I was like, but it would have been better for Christmas. So yeah, I think I've lost my train of thought a little bit. What I'm trying to say is, I haven't always been that excited about Christmas, but now because we have our son, it's different. And seeing the joy on his face, I think kind of it's reignited my love for Christmas. It was also cool that when we were at Mom and Dad's house, when we went back, when we were there the first time, We were there in the morning / early afternoon. Then we went back early evening and hung out. But when we were there the first time, I put on A Christmas Story. And I was watching Christmas Story. I'm holding, the baby. And I was, oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. It was nice. It was very nice. And it invigorated my love for Christmas. And I was like, oh, okay. And something that's really hilarious is the other day before I left on my last trip, the baby was getting a little fussy and it was like, wah, 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 wah. And Allie goes, oh, you want to see something funny? And I said, yeah, show me something funny. Just watch. So he's on the changing table and he's just kind of like, meh, 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 meh. I'm a baby. And Allie puts on Mariah Carey's All I Want for Christmas. All I want for Christmas is you. And the song starts. It's like the jingle bells, like, and he's like, meh, and he goes, I was like, what was that? She goes, it's his song. And I went, it's his song? He goes, yeah. So he went from like, meh, 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 and he stopped. And Allie was singing it to him, and he was having a ball. And I went, what? And she goes, yeah, when he gets a little fussy, I put this on, and he loves it. And sure as shit, for the past couple days, he's gotten fussy. I put it on, and he's just kind of, moves around. And then today we went to Costco to get gas, and he was in the back seat, in his car seat, and he started getting fussy, and I goes, watch. He puts it on, and he's like, meh. And then the moment he hears the intro to the song, he looks at me because we have a little mirror. So I'm driving and I'm looking at the rearview mirror. Look at the rearview mirror, and the song starts, and he looks at me. I'm like, yeah, it's your son, buddy. Oh man, he loves it. He goes, I think it's gonna be like June, and we're gonna be going down the road listening to, All I Want for Christmas by Mariah Carey. And I go, hey, whatever works. So that was cool. On a different topic, have I told you guys that I am in a fantasy football league? Did I tell you guys that part? I don't know if I've told you. Anyways, if you don't know what fantasy football is, it is exactly what you think it is. Excuse me, I'm so burpy right now. So you get either a group of friends, a group of family members, a group of strangers. I don't know how many, I don't know if there's a cap to how many people can be in your league. I'm assuming there might be a cap, but I know the minimum is 8. So you need at least 8 people to play. And in the fantasy football league that I'm in, there's 8 of us. And it consists of my Uncle Nick, my Uncle Danny. My Uncle Nick, my cousin Danny, my cousin Nikki, Nikki's son, Nicholas, one of Nicholas's friends, Danielle's boyfriend, Joe, myself, and Greg. So there's 8 of us. When my grandmother died, we went out there to try to see Mommy before she passed away, and we weren't successful on the plane ride from Chicago to California. We had to go through San Francisco. We had to go Chicago, San Francisco, and then Ontario. But on the way to San Francisco, at some point, Mommy died. She passed away. So we were almost there. We just didn't make it. So we went to Danny's house when, the day of, and we were hanging out, and I can't remember who said. I think it was Nick. I think it was Nicky. He said like, "Oh, hey, Nicholas wants to play fantasy football and blah 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 blah." And I agreed to it, and I was like, "Yeah, sure, that sounds fun." And then I talked Greg into it, and Greg was like, "Yeah, sure, whatever." Mind you, I don't know much about football. Soccer, yes, I know a lot about soccer because I started playing when I was about 5, and I played all the way up until my late 20s. And then I coached while I was playing, and then I coached when I stopped playing. And then now I watch it. I haven't played in many, many years. Um, but I love the sport. I can't wait for Athanasios to be old enough so we can put him in whatever soccer league there is. So football has never been my thing. I really don't like football. The only reason why I watch football is because, like, okay, for example, AJ loves the Raiders. He's a Raider fan through and through. And because I became friends with AJ, I now root for the Raiders. I'm like, oh, that's a team that one of my friends likes. My brother, he likes the Minnesota Vikings and he likes the New England Patriots. And he also likes Tim Britney, who plays for Tampa Bay. He doesn't like Tampa Bay, but he likes Tampa Bay because Tom Brady is on the team. And because Tim Britney is on the team and he is a Tom Brady fan, he roots for Tim Britney, and because Tim Britney plays for Tampa Bay, that's why he goes go Tampa Bay. So I too root for the Vikings. I too root for the New England Patriots, and I also am a big Tim Britney fan because I mean, he's won 6 Super Bowl rings, 5 of them with the same organization, and then one of them with a team that he was on for 1 year. So I mean, the man is insanely talented. I'd like to see him win a 7th one and then peace out. That'd be nice. Like he's already topped his legacy with the greatest of all time when it comes to football players, quarterbacks. To add one more would just be like, I thought I could do one more, and I did. And fuck you guys, I'm out. And then my brother Rob, he likes the Houston Texans. I think he started liking them because he moved to Houston. So now, because of ese Rob, I root for the Texans as well. So if you notice, I don't have my own team that I root for. I root for other people's team and I make them my own. So when people go, "Oh, who's your football team?" I go, I don't have one because I really don't. I root for the Bears because Jorge, he likes the Bears, and I'm like, yeah, sure, let's go. Let's do this, Bears. So I enjoy watching the games normally with the friend or family member that likes the team. If it's me on my own, I think football is fucking boring. I'm like, I don't. They play for 2 seconds and then they run. Then they like stop for 5 minutes and then they play for another 10 seconds, and you're like, God damn it, let's go, come on. So to go into this fantasy league, I was like, I'm gonna do terribly, but whatever. I'm gonna have fun doing it, right? Well, then came what I like to call when I dropped the bomb of what happened with me and that dumb piece of shit, Fernando. Fuck that child molesting piece of shit. So that put a wrench in the relationship with me and my family. because it was like, hey, this is what happened to me, and I got a lot of like, you know, specifically from my mom, like she was like, man, it didn't happen, and you wanted it, and then my uncle Nick was like, well, it's a civil matter. I'm like, molesting little kids is a civil matter? It's not a criminal? Like y'all don't find that you guys are okay with that? You said you can take it up in court over this civil matter? God damn. Um that was mind-boggling because I thought to myself, wait, what if Danny's kids get molested? Are you going to be so cavalier about, well, it's a civil matter? What if Nikki's son was like, yeah, I was molested by this person? Are they going to be like, well, let's not jump to conclusions. You'll take care of it in a civil matter. You guys can take care of it in the court. Or better yet, like, what's Danny gonna say? Like, if one of his kids, oh, we were molested, and he goes, well, we have to keep the family together. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you guys? Same thing with Nikki. Like, if his son goes, hey, he's like, well, everybody's got their demons. Like, are you guys fucking high? Like, what the fuck's wrong with you guys? So because I said something, and Greg has always been on my side and has supported me because I support Greg and he supports me. And, I would definitely say that we're each other's best friends. When I was like, yeah, I can't fuck with them anymore. Like, if they think child molestation is just something to be like, well, you don't want to jump to conclusions. Like, nah, I can't fuck with people like that. So me and Greg had a conversation. We were like, well, what are we gonna do with this fantasy league? Because we agreed to it, but we don't want to talk to them. And so I told Greg, I said, well, I mean, I really don't care. And then I don't know, like 2 days passed, and I was like, fuck it. No, I do care. I care enough because now I want to win. I want to win just so that when they look at, oh, who's the champion, it's either going to be Greg or me, right? And Greg was like, yeah, okay, let's do this. So Greg and I continued to play in this fantasy league. There was never exchange of conversations between us because, like you'll talk shit to your opponents. Like there's a message board where, I can say like, hey, you can all eat my dick. Or, I'm going to lick everybody's asshole. I'm going to win this week, something. But there was no banter. There was no talking. There was no communication. I think I got a couple trade requests, but I believe it was from Nicholas's friend and from Nicholas. I think Joe asked for a trade later on, but I can't really remember. So like these games, we were playing these games, but at no point was there any kind of communication. And I kind of started off good, and then I started losing, and then I back and forth. So out of the 8 of us, last week was the semifinal to see who goes to the Super Bowl. Which the final is this weekend. And then they have consolation games. So it ended with, let me see, let me pull up our table so I can tell you, or the standings, I should say. Okay. So Nicholas's friend, who he asked to join our league so he can fill everything, fill fill the 8-man roster that we needed to play. He came in and he did horribly. He went 2 for 13, so he's in 8th place. Anytime Greg and I would see the matchups and we'd see him playing someone, we were like, oh, he's going to lose. And I think even with open spots on his team, he won twice. I don't know how, but he did. So he ended the season at 2-13, which is that sucks. And then my Uncle Nick came in 7th at 6-9, and Nicholas also came in 6-9, but it went Uncle Nick at 7th and then Nicholas at 6th because of points. So Nicholas got more points to end in 6th. Nikki ended in 5th place. So 5, 6, 7, 8 don't make the playoffs. 4, 3, 2, 1 make the playoffs. So I came in 4th, 9-6, which I was baffled because like, oh man, I actually kind of knew what I was doing. Like I'd see like injury reports and I was like, oh, what about maybe this guy, maybe that guy, maybe this guy. Oh, I've heard this guy's good. And I did also ask Greg for some advice and some of my other, a couple friends for some football advice. I was like, what would you, and they go, yeah, he's pretty good, blah, blah, blah. I was like, okay. So I finished the season in 4th, 9-6. Danny came in 3rd, 10-5. Greg finished 2nd, 10-5. And then Joe came in 1st at 10-5. So Joe, Greg, Danny, they ended with the season with 10-5, but because of points, Joe got 1st, Greg got 2nd, Danny got 3rd, I got 4th. So then the matchups. The matchups were semifinal, which I played Joe, so it went 1st and 4th, and then 2nd and 3rd. Now, I am admitting right now on camera, Greg and I colluded. We did. We spoke, and we told each other, okay, first off, I didn't think I was going to get to the playoffs. I didn't think I was going to do as well as I did. But I got into 4th. And Greg, for a while, was in 1st. And Greg, with our matchup, going into the matchup, I was at 4th. Greg was at 1st. And Greg goes, because I take the boys for a walk at night. And I normally call Greg, and we'll be on the phone anywhere from like 15 minutes to an hour. So we're talking, and he goes, hey, I have an idea. And I said, what's your idea? And he goes, listen, if you come in 3rd and I come in 1st, then we don't have to play each other the first round of the playoffs. He's like, or if you come in 4th and I come in 2nd, we don't have to play each other. He goes, we will play each other if either of us, well, if Greg comes in 1st and I come in 4th, then 1st and 4th play. He goes, that would suck because then we're not, one of us is knocking each other out. I go, true. He goes, and if we're 2nd and 3rd, we play each other as well. And I said, okay. He goes, so my idea is, he goes, I'm going to throw my game against you. The last game of the season. I'm going to throw my game. You're going to win. And I said, okay. He's like, in hopes that Joe moves up to 1st and you stay in 4th, and then Danny wins his matchup and he stays at 3rd. And I went, okay, risky move because anything can happen. But we did it, right? And it looked like, even with us doing that, it still looked like Greg and I were going to play the first round. We're like, fuck, whatever. We rolled the dice and it just didn't go in our favor. And I want to say maybe, I don't remember when I saw it or when Greg saw it. But he's like, yeah, it doesn't look like it's going to work out that way. Okay. I think it was Sunday night. And then Greg texts me. He's like, hey, it worked. And I said, what worked? He's like, look at the standings. And I looked and I looked at the matchups. There was still a Monday night game, but the Monday night game didn't count. Or didn't count for anything in the matchups we needed. So Greg goes, Greg moved down a second. He's like, I'm playing Danny and you're playing Joe. I went, oh shit. And sure enough, that's what was this past weekend. So I played Joe and Greg played Danny. So going into the matchup, I was projected to get 48 points, and Joe was projected to get 125 points. So on paper, it looked like I was going to beat him already. So the game started and it kept going back and forth. Joe's points were going up, mine were going down, mine were going up, and that's how it goes. Well, then on Saturday, all of Joe's points were coming in, and I still had games on Sunday and a Monday game. So on Saturday, when it ended, he ended with 116 points. And I think I was at like 90 points, or it could have been 100. So I was like, oh, perfect. Like, I have tomorrow's game in. So then the next day came, and all I needed was a point to beat him, and I got that. So I ended up beating Joe 159.10 to 116.10. So miraculously, I beat Joe, and holy shit, I'm in the Super Bowl. What? The soccer guy is in the Super Bowl? Say what? Crazy. Now, Greg's matchup with Danny. Greg was projected to get 150 points. Danny was projected to get 135 points. So on paper, you're like, oh, Greg's going to win. Well, Greg ended with 185 points. Monday night came, and Greg goes, dude, I'm nervous. And I said, why? He's like, because he has, his running back for the Cardinals. And I go, yeah, but he's only projected to get 15 points. Or no, that wasn't him. No, the Chargers guy, the wide receiver, that's what it was. I said, he's only projected to get 13 points. He goes, I don't know, man. Like, he needs X amount of points. And I think going into that game, because the running back for the Cardinals did so well, I think Danny just needed like 30 points. I think that's what it was. So he's like, I don't know, I don't feel comfortable. And I was like, Greg, don't worry about it. It's fine. And Greg was like, no. Like his guy, like that guy is pretty good. So the Monday night game starts. And I have a running back for the Chargers. And he did really well for me. But I mean, I had already won my matchup. I knew I was going to the championship. So then this fucking wide receiver gets 26.40 points. And the whole time I'm like, what the fuck? Like, throw it to somebody else. So I told you Greg got 185 points even. Danny got 181.50 points. When I tell you we were biting our nails, we were biting our nails. I was like, oh my God. I think Danny's going to overcome this point deficit and like win. I was like, holy shit. So I was nervous. Greg was like, I don't know, man. I don't know. But then it ended. And now Greg and I are playing in our fantasy football league Super Bowl. And I was like, what? I was like, who would have thought that, again, the soccer guy would be in the championship? And Greg was like, dude, it worked out. And it really did work out. It's really cool. Because now I told Greg, I said, I truly don't give a shit if I win or lose against my brother. Like, I'm in the final. I don't care. If I win, great. If I don't, what better person to lose to than my brother? And Greg told me the same thing. He's like, I really don't give a shit who wins. As of right now, I'm projected to win 143.55. To Greg's 140 points. I tinkered around with my lineup, and so did Greg. We're like, we're gonna let the cards fall where they may. So Greg and I are playing for the championship. Joe and Danny are playing for third place. Nick and Theo Nick are playing for fifth place. And then Nicholas's friend and Nicholas are playing for seventh place. I already know who's going to win the seventh place game. It's going to be Nicholas because his friend has 2 empty slots that aren't even there. He doesn't have a kicker and he doesn't have a quarterback. Oh no, he doesn't have a running back, a tight end. I don't know what the fuck this kid's doing. But he has 2 slots open. So he's only projected to get 90 points and Nicholas is projected to get 146 points. So that's a gimme. In the fifth place game, on paper right now, Theo Nick looks like he's supposed to get 133 and Nicky's supposed to get 70. In the third place game, Danny's supposed to get 140 or 139. Joe's supposed to get 131. And then, like I said, for me and Greg's game, which that's the only one that matters, the championship, because everything else is consolation. That just sucks. I'm supposed to win, but again, we'll see what happens. So yeah, that's the drama with or what's going on with our fantasy league. Guys, this is the last episode of 2022 and I just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for, telling somebody, hey, you should listen to this podcast. Because without you guys, I would be just a person talking into a camera and putting it online and it disappearing forever. Thank you for, following me. Thank you for liking my posts. Thank you for commenting. Thank you for sending me text messages now and again about the show. Even little things. Sometimes I'll get, a text message where one of you guys goes, hey, you talked about quesadillas. Oh my God, I love quesadillas. Even something simple as that. That makes me smile. It makes me happy. It warms my heart. It lets me know that people are listening. And that means the world to me. I know there's many, many times, many weeks where I haven't put out a show because, like I said, I've gotten busy either with work or trying to adjust with, having a baby and doing stuff. And you guys still come back and still stick with me. And I truly, truly thank you and appreciate it because you guys don't have to listen and you don't have to watch, but you do. And my New Year's resolution for 2023 to you guys is I'm going to try to be better. I'm going to try to be consistent, putting out the show every week. Nobody said I had to do this. Nobody says, I don't have anything that says I don't work for anybody that says, hey, you have to put out an episode every week. I've decided that. And that's on me. And I love doing the show. There's some times where I get a little down, but then I'll talk to my brother, Greg, or I'll just think of something and it just reinvigorates me. But that's my New Year's resolution to you guys, to be more consistent with the show. And I'm even going to take a page out of my brother's book. He does adventures, and maybe me just sitting here in studio or in a hotel room on a layover, maybe I need to spice it up a little bit. So I'm going to try to look for things to do around Crown Point, and not just here in the town we live in, but in the surrounding cities and stuff. Just so that you don't always see just this boring background or just me sitting down talking to you guys. So I'm looking for different ways to make the show more exciting. And yeah, just thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you very much. And this year has been crazy. I got married. We had a baby. We moved. So many things have happened. And I just hope that 2023 is a much better year. And I hope you guys have a wonderful, safe new year. Remember, if you guys are going to drink, please don't drive. Get a ride, Uber, do something. Just be safe, guys. And I just want to say, Happy New Year, and I will see you in 2023.